Hello, and welcome to this video on parallel computing. I'm here to provide you with valuable insights. The voice you're hearing is AI generated, and this video is supported by the Norwegian Research Infrastructure Service. NRIS is collaboration between Sigma 2 and the universities of Bergen, Oslo, Tromsø, and NTNU to provide national supercomputing and data storage services. These services are operated by NRIS and coordinated and managed by Sigma 2. In this video, we will perform matrix multiplication testing using a Python program. We will also demonstrate how to integrate Python with the Fortran programming language. We will conduct these tests on the Fram Linux cluster. After logging into Fram, I landed on the Login 3 node. Since we will perform the tests interactively, we need to load certain modules. I use the alias Intel to load the Intel Fortran compiler and matplot to load some Python modules. After using the matplot alias, we see some output in the terminal, as we have in our previous videos. These aliases are defined in the bash rc file, as explained in video 11. Now that we have the necessary modules for interactive testing, we will clear the terminal before starting. I created a new directory named f2pi in my home folder, and we navigate into this folder using the cd command. We can list the contents of this directory with the ll command. There are 5 Python files and 1 Fortran file. Let's look at one of the Python programs that perform matrix multiplication. This program uses the time and NumPy modules. NumPy is a powerful open-source library in Python that provides support for large, multi-dimensional arrays and matrices, along with a collection of mathematical functions to operate on these arrays. It is a fundamental package for scientific computing in Python and is widely used in data analysis, machine learning, and other scientific fields. NumPy is typically imported in Python using the convention import NumPy as NP. This allows you to use NumPy's functions and features with the NP prefix. We will start our testing with matrices of dimension 512. We use NumPy matrices, initializing them with the NumPy zeros function. This is similar to variable declaration in Fortran, and these matrices are initialized with zeros. We specify that the dimension is n by n and that they are float 64 variables. In NumPy, float 64 is a data type representing a 64-bit floating point number, equivalent to double precision in other programming languages like Fortran and C. In Fortran, float 64 in NumPy corresponds to a real number with double precision, typically declared as real numbers with kind equal to 8. Similar to our Fortran program, the Python program begins by initializing matrices A and B. In Fortran, we used a double-nested do loop, while in Python, we use a double-nested for loop. The float function converts integer values into float 64 numbers. Note that matrix C is not set to 0 during initialization, because it is already initialized with 0 values using the NumPy zeros function. We will monitor the duration of this initialization process using the time function. The duration is calculated as the end time minus the start time and is printed to the terminal with the print function. The matrix multiplication is performed using a triple nested loop, similar to the Fortran program. We also monitor the duration of the matrix multiplication using the time function and print the duration to the terminal. We will use our interactive script to move to a compute node on Fram. We request one compute node for 30 minutes in the development queue using my account number. After a short wait, we are moved to the C8511 compute node. We can now perform matrix multiplication with our Python program. The calculation took 104 seconds, which is much slower than the Fortran program's performance. In video 6, we used a Fortran program to perform matrix multiplication on a matrix of dimension 8192 in about 25 seconds, while here, with the Python program, we used a matrix dimension of 512. Let's look at a Python program that uses a NumPy routine instead of a triple-nested loop. The initialisation process remains the same, using a matrix dimension of 512. We will continue to monitor the duration of the initialisation process. We will use the NumPy mat-mul routine for matrix multiplication. This routine provides a convenient way to multiply two matrices according to the rules of linear algebra. The mat-mul routine is part of NumPy's suite of linear algebra functions and is specifically designed for matrix multiplication. Using mat-mul is efficient because it leverages optimized linear algebra libraries, making it suitable for large-scale numerical computations. We will continue to monitor the duration of the matrix multiplication. Note that the matrix dimension is not explicitly passed into the routine as it is in Fortran. This is typical for NumPy routines, where such information is handled internally. We can now test matrix multiplication using the NumPy mat-mul routine. We notice a significant improvement in performance, with the calculation completing in about 9 milliseconds. This is approximately 10,000 times faster than using a triple-nested loop. This demonstrates that loops in Python are very slow for computations, while the NumPy mat-mul routine is much more efficient. We will repeat this one more time. The mat-mul routine is about 10,000 times faster than using a triple-nested loop. We will adjust the matrix dimension, but first, we will exit the compute node and clear the terminal. Let's open the Python program that uses the mat-mul routine. We adjust the matrix dimension to 8192. We know that the Fortran program completed this calculation in about 25 seconds. We use the setup script to move to a compute node. The script is requesting one compute node and waiting in the development queue until we are moved to the C8511 compute node. We execute the Python program with a matrix dimension of 8192. We observe that the matrix multiplication takes about 31 seconds, which is close to the Fortran performance of 25 seconds. However, we notice that the initialisation process takes about 46 seconds, which is longer than the matrix multiplication itself. To address this, we will integrate Fortran into Python. But first, let's exit the compute node and clear the terminal. Let's list the contents of the folder. We'll take a look at the Fortran file. This file contains a subroutine for initializing matrices A and B. The subroutine starts with the usual variable declarations. We use the intent attribute, which is important when converting this subroutine into a Python module. As shown, both matrices A and B are specified as outputs, while N is specified as an input. Let's look at the Python script that converts a Fortran subroutine into a Python module. This script compiles the Fortran subroutine into a Python module using the f2py command, which stands for Fortran to Python. Fortran to Python is a tool within NumPy that connects Python and Fortran, allowing you to call Fortran code from Python. This integration is useful for leveraging existing Fortran codebases and taking advantage of Fortran's performance in numerical computations. Fortran to Python automatically generates Python wrappers for Fortran codes, enabling you to call Fortran functions and subroutines as if they were native Python functions. By using Fortran to Python, you can perform computationally intensive tasks in Fortran, which is often faster than Python for numerical operations, while still benefiting from Python's ease of use and extensive libraries. Fortran to Python simplifies the process of compiling Fortran code and linking it with Python, handling many complexities of cross-language integration. The script uses the OS module to interact with the Linux operating system, allowing it to execute the Fortran to Python command. The doCompile variable is a string that contains the command for the Fortran to Python process, starting with f2py3, which is the Fortran to Python command for the Python 3 version. Several string variables are appended to the initial part of the doCompile string. The first, compiler, specifies that the Intel Fortran compiler should be used when the Fortran to Python command compiles the Fortran subroutine into a Python module. The second string variable, Broadwell, specifies the compiler option to be used, including setting the architecture to the Broadwell type for the Fram Linux cluster. The third string variable, Fortran, indicates which file the Fortran to Python command should use during compilation. This file, Fortran sub, contains the Fortran subroutine that will be converted into a Python module. It also specifies that the resulting Python module should be named Fortran. The outstring variable specifies that the output of the Fortran to Python command should be redirected to a file named f2py3 output. The last string variable, dev0, indicates that any error messages should be redirected to dev null. This file is often called a black hole because anything sent to it is effectively deleted. The Python script ends by printing the complete Fortran to Python command to the terminal using the print function, and then executing the command with the OS system function. We will again use our interactive script to move to a compute node on Fram. We request one compute node for 30 minutes in the development queue using my account number. After a short wait, we are moved to the C8511 compute node. We can now execute the Fortran to Python process with the Python script we just reviewed. The script prints the complete command for the process. Once the process is complete, we exit the compute node and clear the terminal. After executing the Fortran to Python process, two new files have been created, as shown when we use the ll command. The first file is the one specified in the Python script for capturing the output of the Fortran to Python process. The second file is the Fortran CPython file, which is the Python module created by this process. Let's take a closer look at the f2py3 output file. This file shows that the process of building the Python module involves reading the Fortran file and constructing a wrapper for the initial subroutine. It also provides details on how to call the routine from the Python program. Let's examine a Python program that uses the Fortran module we created. The program utilizes the time and NumPy modules as before and imports the Fortran module with the prefix fort. Matrices A and B are now initialized using the Fortran subroutine initial, called with the Fort prefix. We continue to monitor the duration of the initialization process. The setup script is used to move to a compute node, requesting one node and waiting in the development queue until we reach the C8511 compute node. We execute the Python program with a matrix dimension of 8192, using the Fortran module for initialization. We again observe that matrix multiplication takes about 31 seconds, which is close to the Fortran performance of 25 seconds. Remarkably, the initialization process, which previously took around 46 seconds, now takes less than 1 second with the Fortran module, making it approximately 100 times faster. In our next video, we will offer more details on executing Python production jobs on the Fram Linux cluster. I am looking forward to the next video. Wishing you all happy computing in the meantime.